and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie and this is the January 2019 wrap-up. As I said, this is the January 2019 wrap-up, so as I did last year, I'm going to be doing it the same way this year, just giving you guys the stats for this month. If there is anything that you want to hear more about, make sure you check the description box because I will be placing all of the month's videos down in there. So if there's a specific book that you're looking for or anything like that, make sure you go down there because at the end of the video, there is going to be a slideshow of the books that I read broken down chronologically, so you know which week that you need to go and check out that description for the book or review for the book. So let's get into those stats. Last month I read 26 books, and in breakdown that is 19 audiobooks, 7 ebooks, and 9 arcs. For the number of pages and hours, I read 114 hours and 7 minutes. That's a total page count of 6,324. On to the star ratings. The star ratings are as follows. I DNF'd 2 books last month. I had 0 1 stars, 0 2 stars, 3 3-star books, 11 4-star books, and 10 5-star books. I did not read anything for Blackout, which is to read Black authors last month, which is kind of weird because, wow. For Genreathon, which the topics were Second Chance, Pregnancy, and Unrequited, I read Bombshell by Jen Frederick, which follows under short story and pregnancy. Filthy Beautiful Love by Kendall Ryan, which is under Unrequited, so you do need to read Filthy Beautiful Lies before you read Filthy Beautiful Love, but the second half of the story deals with some unrequitedness. My One and Only by Kristen Higgins, which falls under the Second Chance category. Anti-Stepbrother by Tejan, which falls under Unrequited. Hard Press by Kate Canterbury, which falls under Unrequited. And Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which falls under pregnancy. For Romanceopoly, I read My One and Only by Kristen Higgins for the bus space. For a library space, I read Unscripted by Christy Pastore. For another library space, I read All My Truths and One Lie by Fabiola Francisco. I did the Beanies Challenge, which was to post a bookshelf shelfie over on Instagram, so you can go check that one out. For Readathons, I participated in Buzzwordathon, which was held January the 14th through the 20th. The buzzword was lie, and I read Filthy Beautiful Lies, Filthy Beautiful Love, Filthy Beautiful Forever, which is all in the series of Filthy Beautiful Lies. And I tried to read Walking Around in Circles Before I Lie Down by Merrill Merrick. Yeah, I DNF'd that, by the way. In bookish news and events, I did not go to any bookish events this month, but for bookish news, I do have the possibility of arc reading, drum roll, The new book by E.L. James. Oh my gosh, it's releasing in April of 2019. Super excited to have a new book by the wonderful E.L. James. Yes, I can't wait. Fingers crossed I get that arc and I get to talk to you guys about it. I won't overload you because I know when she dropped the announcement that she had a new book coming out on GMA or one of those morning shows, it was like, oh my goodness, it split the romance world in half. You have your half that's like, what, why, how, she's really not that good of a writer. And then you have us that are like, oh yes, bring it, I'm ready for something new, I want more of E.L. James. I'm over here You guys know this. And I'm like, yes, give it to me. I need more. So bring it. But I won't overload you with talking about it either. No worries there. I also should have a Read Bliss video coming out about second chance spotlights, where I talk about second chance stories that were very special to me. So make sure you go over to the Read Bliss channel to check out their videos. They're all about romance, and they have some really, they're working with a few other booktubers that are really good when it comes to romance. So if you're definitely looking for something in the romance realm, go check out that channel and find those other booktubers as well. For my top 5 reads of January 2019, they are as follow, and they're not in any particular order, but there are 5 of them, and I love them so very, very much. Zero G by Dan Wells. He started off my month by being a Audible original. I did not think that I was going to enjoy this. The only reason I downloaded it was because it was free, for one. Being a Audible subscriber, I was provided free books, or I am provided free books on audio, and most of the times they're originals, so they don't have like a page count or anything like that. And this one is a middle grade sci-fi version of The Passenger, and it's so good. So very good. This young man and his family are going to this new colony that is on Earth, or from Earth, away from Earth, and they have to get on the ship where they sleep for like 100 or so years or more, and his pod ends up becomes dysfunctional, and he gets awake and has to do this like mystery thing in space, and it was so much fun, and I definitely could listen to it again, especially if my son wanted to listen to it. And it has the aspects that I think would be amazing for a kid to enjoy, and I just really loved it. Really, really loved it. Hard Pressed by Kate Canterbury. This is the second book in the Talbot Cove duet as of right now, or series of standalones. This was so much fun that I really enjoyed it. It has that unrequited love feel to it, but at the same time, you have a super sexy sheriff that is dreaming and sort of lusting over the bookshop keeper that doesn't know that she's sexy, and I just love the banter between the two of them, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. Promises, which was Web of Sins, book number 3 by Alethea Roman, the conclusion to Irani Eyes and Sterling Story. This book made my list last year, so I won't go too much into it. It did make some of my favorites, and was nominated for a couple of my awards. But I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved the conclusion. I loved the whole balance of Alethea's light and her dark side when it came to this story, and I just loved it a lot. The Scripted Duet by Christy Pastore. This is a story that gave me the inside look into a couple that I knew would have a happy ending, that is very settled in the worlds of Christy's other stories. And this is their story, and it deals with communication, and it deals with realistic couples issues, and I loved it. I loved how it flowed. I loved how I was able to connect to it emotionally, and it was just absolutely great to have it revamped and re-seen, and gets to present to the world again, and I loved it. I love the new covers too. And the last book that I'm going to talk about is All My Truths and One Lie by Fabiola Francisco. This book touched me so deep because it deals with real life situations and real life feelings and real life things that I can personally connect to, things that are very similar to the things that I went through, and it just touched my heart, and it was beautifully presented for such a hard topic of nature, and I just loved every moment of it. So yeah. So those are my top 5, and those are my stats for January. For the month of February, Romance Genreathon is going to be all about the Black author, the Black main character. Everything is African American in February. So there we go. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or think my stats are amazing. I always like a pat on the back. Make sure you stay until the end after, or you can time jump at this point, because I'm just going to do my closing, to see all the books that I read last month in chronological order, and their corresponding weeks are going to be down in the description box. So if you want to hear full reviews for those, check those out. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.